Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the mid-season review of the Monday Blues. Now, Carlton does have a bye this week, and gentlemen, it has been boring this weekend. I tell you what,
Boring.
It's no fun.
Been absolutely stress-free, mate. I don't know about you. Been a great weekend.
Look, put aside the fact that yes, you're right. You're right. It has been an absolutely stress-free weekend. It's boring when Carlton's not playing. But nevertheless, here we are. We have reached the mid-season bye for the Baggers. And let's take a look back. Let's review this season so far. Now, before we get into it, my name is Amal, and tonight joining me, and as always, I have Mus, Carl, Andy, and George. How are we, gentlemen?
Hello, boys.
Good evening. Very well.
G'day.
Excellent. Now, the mid-season review, the season that has been so far. Round 1 against Richmond, I really think that we got away with that one, big time. I think Richmond had it all over us, and we got lucky to get away with a point and a draw there. Thoughts?
To be fair, I agree 100 million %. But also, I think we should have held on in the end to win. But yeah, unfortunately we didn't. But you take the 2 points, I guess. But yeah, like you said, we shouldn't have won, but we should have held on at the same time, if that makes sense.
It's like two sides of the coin. Yeah, like as the weeks went on after that game, I got a bit more annoyed thinking about it. The O'Brien kick, and at the end, and also like Richmond's results that happened over the before the Hardwick resignation. But I thought to myself, geez, we really should have won that. But it was at one stage, it was ours to lose, and then it was ours to win, and then it was ours to lose, right? So we sort of broke even on them, I guess. So it's better than an L, but not as exciting as round 1, 2022.
Yeah. Rounds 1 to 4, definitely for me, were the creation of a false economy, I think, for a lot of Carlton supporters, because whilst we did get lucky to scrape away with a point after the Richmond game, the next 3 games, I think, gave a lot of Carlton supporters a lot of false hope. Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, we were lucky to win all those games, really. I mean, I think the Geelong game, they had a shot, I think, on goal with a minute left to take it off us. They missed. I think the GWS game was next, and we couldn't score a goal for a quarter and a half until a poor free kick went our way for dissent, which I think is the only dissent free kick this year, or the main free kick. And then I think we beat, was it North? North without a defence.
Yeah, and 2 of their main defenders were out that day.
Yep, and as I can remember, I think it was Larky who was on one foot. He was on one leg. So we had that 1 quarter burst, I think, in the 3rd and maybe the start of the 4th, where we put on a 7-8 goal lead, and then they just kicked the last 4 or 5 goals of the game anyway. So yeah, we're very lucky to win some games there. And then the West Coast game, we don't count the West Coast game. That's later on. But yeah, we were very lucky to win those games as well. Looking back, and at the time, we were like, we're not playing our best footy and we're still getting wins, so we'll take it. But was that a sign of things to come?
Yeah, absolutely.
Up to round 4, we were undefeated.
Everyone was on the Carlton bus after round 4. I tell you what, and I think all of us were as well. But it quickly came undone in the gather round, to which both Andy and George were at as well. What was the atmosphere like in gather round?
Mental. Georgie?
Electric, man. The stadium, the leading up to it actually was fantastic. Though Adelaide really put on a show, considering it was the first one. So there was that footy festival just across the road. from Adelaide Oval. So there was a bit going on, and then even before the game, like the stadium, and they had a lot of big names obviously there, and it was electric. Everything up until the bounce in that first quarter, fantastic. We're looking at each other thinking, I'm
How
feeling
good's this?
okay. Yeah, this is great. And then I think, for lack of a
5
better
minutes
way
in?
to explain, 5 minutes in, we were being reminded that the last flight to Melbourne hadn't left yet, and it wasn't too late to go back to the airport.
Thanks, Moose, for that.
Straight after the Adelaide game, and we got pumped. We got absolutely pumped by Adelaide, 56 points. We versed the Saints after that at Marvel. Mus, what were your thoughts on that?
Very unconvincing for me. I know I sat there and I turned to Andy during the game, and look, St Kilda were looking okay. I think they had some good passages and they did some good things, but I said, St Kilda's not that great. I recall saying that, and they were doing some good things, but we looked really bad. We couldn't put a chain of plays together. For me, that's kind of probably the game where I thought we're in some real trouble here. Like you guys spoke about the 4 games, at the start of the year where we sort of got some points, and that's all we did. We got the win. Richmond, we probably got lucky, in my opinion. Geelong, we're still, I don't know if they were still doing pre-season mode or something like that, and we haven't looked like anything up until the West Coast game. But yeah, St Kilda wasn't great for me. That's where we sort of didn't look like we were going to do much.
Yeah, I think that's where the red flags started to pop up, because Adelaide absolutely destroyed us. St Kilda did a number on us as well, and what hurt even more with the St Kilda game was that we all thought the same thing. St Kilda isn't winning the game; we were losing.
Yeah,
you agree with that, Carl?
Agreed, a lot. But that's pretty much when we started to break, just break down.
Correct.
See, sorry, Emma. I think we got massively outcoached that game.
Against St Kilda?
I think Ross Lyon set up so well defensively, and we just buckled. We crumbled. We couldn't move the ball forward. They were daring us to move forward, and we just we weren't man enough to take them on. And I just think we just got outcoached. I think, and again, unforgivable. Jack Silvani misses from 10 metres out directly in front. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you can't kick a goal from 10 metres out, should not be on an AFL list. I don't care what your surname is.
I remember Andy very, very clearly. When Silvani got the 50-metre penalty, you called it. It. You're like, he's not kicking this. Put the house on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. What's this guy talking about? He's 10 metres in. Oh, shit, he missed.
We are so unreliable in front of goal that I was certain and proven right that Jack was going to miss from 10 metres out directly in front.
Yeah. That was the turning point as well of that game.
Yeah,
as soon as he missed, I think they kicked 2 or 3 goals, and it was all. And you know what? That game as well, we got looked after a lot by the umpires.
Yeah.
Was it that game?
It was that game. Yeah, they hooked up Carlton a lot, and we
shouldn't have been in that.
No.
Even the umpires were confused after the game.
If you looked at the match stats on that game alone, and you didn't show the person the final score, you would have thought, okay, well, Carlton looks like it's won it. It's dominated a lot of the inside 50s, the contested possessions and whatnot. So
that's the story of the year, though.
A lot of our games are like that.
Yeah. I think that it almost feels like that Silvani miss told the story of Carlton's goal kicking woes for the next 6 rounds after that. This is round 6. We're now up to round 15, but from round 6, 7, maybe not. Actually, no, not 7. I apologise, not 7, because that was the practice match. But rounds 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, we struggled to kick 10 goals in a game.
That's not even just goals, though. That was in-game play. We couldn't hit targets. We're kicking the ball on the full. It was just our kicking all over the game was just no good.
Yeah.
Not such.
we had no idea how to get the ball from our defense into our forward line. There was no structure in that movement in any way, shape, or form. And if you watch back any of the games, you'll quickly realize that no team was putting any real pressure on us when we had the ball. They were just sitting back and, like you said, Andy, daring us to move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying
Waiting
to
for them
Because
to
they knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Our game plan.
Yeah,
from
they knew we were going to turn it over.
100%. The game plan from round 7 to round 14, bar the West Coast game, was long from defense out to the wing, long from the wing if we got the mark there, or if we got it out of the contest, into one
forward.
of Charlie Curnow or Harry Mackay. And every single time that ball went into the forward 50, there was 4 defenders onto 2 key forwards. Every single time.
And the ball's delivered about 900 metres in the air.
Yeah.
Not to our chest.
And our small forwards were non-existent.
They're watching.
No, the small forwards were up in the defensive forward
VIP
50.
seats.
Legends Lounge.
I think as a Carlton supporter, and you know, we're all invested in the team and everything like that, but the last 6 or 7 rounds, bar the Gold Coast game and obviously the West Coast one as well, it has been so mentally and emotionally taxing. It's taken a lot. It's taken a toll. I'm not the same person I was round 4.
We're all scarred.
Amal, I'll take that further back to when we were winning this year. I remember halfway through the second quarter against North, turning to George and saying, "This is disgusting, and I want to go home." We were winning. We were actually winning, but we were playing. And all season we've played a boring, just non-cohesive brand of football. And it was so hard to watch. It is so hard to watch. Like, I'm still not convinced after the Gold Coast game. You got to back it up now.
Yeah.
And not just one game. You got to back it up, on and on. Gold Coast just did a number on Hawthorn. So
proper number.
we've got, so, if we can't do it against Hawthorn, then the Gold Coast game means nothing.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Carlton's goal kicking since after the match against the Eagles. So against Geelong, 11 goals, 8. Not that bad. Brisbane played pretty well that game. We were still pathetic. We couldn't move the ball forward, but Brisbane were good. 11 goals, 8, 74. Now, after that, we couldn't kick over 60 points. Against the Doggies, 8 goals, 11. Against the Pies, 7 goals, 15. Against the Scum. Against Sydney, 6 goals, 15. Against the Demons, 6 goals, 8, 44, which was our lowest score for the year.
Game.
Oh, that was rough. Against Essendon, 6 goals, 16.
Disgusting. The Scum.
Oh, that was a bad.
And they took our bobbleheads.
Not this one. There's one left. There's one left right here.
Man, some of those bobbleheads were going for premium prices online.
Yeah, I was saying.
$150, $160. Imagine that. Carlton Football Club, I hope you're happy. I missed out, and now some Essendon supporter is selling it on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, you dogs.
I bought one.
I've got.
Tell them to take it off the cost of your membership for next year.
I've got a bobblehead right here for the Essendon fans.
And you know what? Going into the Gold Coast game, $10 tickets, bring your family, bring your kids, everything like that. And then the first quarter, they produced the same crap that they have since West Coast. And I was losing it, and so was every single Carlton supporter around me. They're just like, what are these guys doing? Everyone at that point was just confused, like just lost, just had no idea how to feel in any way, shape, or form. Mus, you were at the game, right? You were at the game against the Gold Coast. What were you feeling at the end of the first quarter?
Gold Coast? Yeah.
Yep.
I thought here we go again. I was turning over to Carl going, do we try and get out of here now? And not that there was much traffic; it was 29,000 or something like that. But I thought maybe we just get out of here and we save ourselves the humiliation. But you've got me thinking a little bit now, Amal. And hindsight's a hell of a thing. And I'm just thinking, we haven't won any games bar the West Coast game this year. I mean, those first 4 we sort of stumbled across the line, and the other teams lost the game. We didn't win. Just a bit of contested ball, and yeah, that was it. Looking back, so yeah, no, up until that first quarter, nothing, mate.
For a
convincing.
team, for a team that literally went undefeated undefeated for the first. I'm gonna keep using that word. For the first month of the season, like what a downhill ski since. Honestly, like you think the way we've played, board members quitting, fans are rightly frustrated. A lot of players being regressed, and as you said, most the Geelong game, I think it was Andy was saying Bose missed that kick at the end to get them in front or right back in it.
No, to get them in front.
To get them in front. GWS, we kicked 9 goals, 20, and that was a frustrating watch. The North game, they were pegging us back,
5 more minutes we would have lost.
And the West Coast game, I've said it multiple times over the last few weeks. Every week that passes by, that West Coast game feels more and more irrelevant because hey, what happened last night?
Yeah.
Sydney cracked double tons.
Yeah.
And absolutely put the sword out to West Coast, 170 points or whatever the final margin was, poor buggers. But every week on week, that result is just, it doesn't even count.
Yeah, that was huge.
It's a free hit, So, yeah, and that first quarter, like you think, okay, it's like we're flogging a dead horse. I felt like I was watching, watching St Kilda, Carlton against St Kilda in the fourth quarter. What's going on? We're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to achieve a different result through the same thing. But how beautiful was watching that second quarter. We're not a 4-quarter team. You're never going to see that. Even last year when we had the 8-2 run, we'd have 1 blitz or 2 blitz quarters. And, we can't sustain that for 4 quarters the way we're playing. But there was a bit, it's like a taste. It's like they're teasing us. Like, here you go, we'll drip feed you a little bit of what
dangle
what we
the
can
carrot.
Dangle the carrot,
We've played 4 quarters of footy all year, I reckon, bar that West Coast training drill. 4 quarters of footy is probably what we've played.
I think even that's pushing it, Lawson.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Calm down, mate.
I actually realised that at the Gold Coast game, when we were celebrating goals, right? Because I was like, man, I feel like I haven't done this a lot in the last 2 months, and I realised actually, hold on, we celebrate 6 a game. Texas kicking 10, Sydney's kicking 30, 31 goals. We're there, celebrating, clapping for 6 goals a game or something like that. So it felt like a foreign feeling. But Liverpool are scoring more per game. Yeah, sometimes.
And then the second quarter came, and we thought, "Oh, is this the turning point?" And yes, it's only 1 quarter, and yes, it's only the Gold Coast Suns. But give me a break, man. We've had a rough mid-season, man. Let me enjoy that second quarter. I've watched it at least 5 times. I don't know about
7.
you guys.
We're doing it hard, boys. We're starting.
It was dead set beautiful to watch because there was a plan. There was an intent to move the ball from our defensive few handball changes. Intent.
That's the fucking word. Intent. Because we've had none all year.
100%.
We have had none. Everything we have done has been low percentage. No plan, no intent. Just, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'll just go sideways or backwards. And then, I'll kick it on the full. Everything is low percentage. We're kicking 6 goals, 15 because we're having shots from 55 out. Or we're having shots from the boundary.
We can't kick.
Directly
55, 10 metres 50,
out. Because we're not there. We're not there enough to know how to kick it from 10 meters out. But yes, you're right. 100%. You're right, Andy. It's every time we did get into the forward line, it was 45 meters out on a 45-meter angle. How often are you going to kick that? No wonder why our scores were 6 and 16 and 6 and 20 and 9 and 20 and everything like that. But then the second, third, and fourth quarter against the Gold Coast, it was our forward entries were not only deeper in our forward 50. the players that were delivering it into our forward 50 had their heads down, had their eyes down, and delivering short, sharp passes into our key forwards in Harry Mackay, in Charlie Curnow. Not only that, but some of the midfielders started to get into the onto the scoreboard as well. Cripper was kicking goals. Chera kicked goals. Chera is
Shaved head
fantastic.
Chera.
Love
Shaved
Chera.
head Chera. The menace.
Love Chera. Cottrell had a great game against the Gold Coast Suns. He got on the scoreboard. Always got on the scoreboard. Jack Martin didn't get on the scoreboard, I don't think, but he set up a few goals. He set up Chera's first goal with some beautiful footwork. It was awesome to see. Now, that's the mid-season, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because it genuinely depresses me. Are we going to see a colossal change in the way Carlton play the game moving forward? No.
Nope.
Why?
Nope.
Why?
Why
I
not?
can't see it.
Because. Yeah,
Nah,
Ross.
you go. I just can't see it.
No, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Yeah.
All year, it's been shit. We play one good quarter of football. We flow, and the key word's intent. There's a bit of intent. We get the ball. We get a bit of confidence, and we put some goals on the scoreboard. I don't think it's going to continue. I think we go back to what we've been doing the other 15 games of the year. Why all of a sudden are we going to just, is there a switch that we flick on? I don't think so.
Yeah,
But
I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
It's fair. I don't think you have any.
Yeah, again, one game, one quarter isn't enough for me to say we're back. Blues are back. But, you know what I mean? One quarter just isn't enough for me to be all in again and to say, nah, we're good. We're gonna get it right from here. Again, if they back it up, I might change my opinion. And my opinion doesn't matter. But they might, I just don't think we've got the coaching ability or the talent to do this week in, week out. I just don't think we've got that. We showed last year we can only do it for half a year. We haven't even done it for 2 games yet this year. Let's just settle and see how we go, I reckon. Do you reckon, Carl? Do you reckon we can do that?
I'm leaning more to the no side, but I know it was only Gold Coast, but the way we played the game was completely different to all the others. We were going down the middle. We weren't using the wingers much. Even when we were going forward, it wasn't to the pocket. We were looking for players in the middle. Yeah, look, I'm probably still leaning towards the no side, but I mean, if we bring the game style we did against Gold Coast, we can match it with the best. It's just we don't want to, or we're just dumb.
George, I feel like you're on my side here. I think you're a bit more optimistic.
George is Captain Optimistic.
I will put on the optimistic beanie anyway, and I will say I reckon the players coaching they're on board. They've seen what can be done, and I think they'll build us up. We'll get a bit of hope. We'll get a couple of wins here or two. We might get a scalp. They'll build us up to this hopeful supporter base again, and then West Coast will beat us. West Coast will get I think West Coast will get their next win against us. They'll build us up to the point, we get a scalp. The media's behind us. We're going to get some good results, and then look, they will break our hearts again this year. Once, twice, 3 times. I don't care. I don't know how many times it's going to happen. They will break our hearts again. You can't, death taxes and Carlton breaking your heart year after year. It's just a certainty, right? So I've just got the feeling that we'll go on maybe a little bit of a run, get a couple of wins under the radar, not in prime time slots, and then we're going to lose one in really bad fashion. That's what I feel like it's got the makings of that, So whether it's complacency, I just feel like the style that we played after quarter time, and it was a fundamental shift, right? There's a lot of playing on. There's a lot of those looping handballs over the top. There's just a willingness to attack the game, less reliance on just kicking to the wings, Akers, and hoping that Silvani gets a mark or Mackay gets a mark. And if they don't get a mark, it goes back over. Less reliance on that and more taking those risks in the midfield. So I feel like we need to capitalize on that style, go against Hawthorn as well next week and give it a crack. But I feel like as much as we're going to get a scalp and maybe have a bit of a small run, I feel like they're going to break our heart some stage. And
What-
fuck,
What
imagine-
happens if West
imagine
Coast is the
Coast-
team?
oh,
What happens? What happens? What happens?
Voss
If-
has to get the sack there.
If we lose to West Coast, I don't think we record that week.
We have a bye.
Yeah, we have a bye. Yeah, we deserve it.
I don't think Voss gets that far. You got to look at it and go, well, all right, Hawthorn, 50-50. Depends which Carlton shows up. But then we got Fremantle in Perth and Port Adelaide.
Who just demolished and Fremantle just demolished Essendon.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not demolished, but they did a number on them. It was a pretty comfortable win. Like you, Georgie, I feel a bit more optimistic, and the only reason why is that it wasn't a slow shift into the game style that we put out in the second quarter against Gold Coast. It was immediate, and something had to have been said in that huddle, in that quarter time huddle, for that shift to happen. Something must have been said.
But what could have been said?
I don't know. Maybe Voss was like, you know what? If you don't do this, then I don't know. You're all fired.
See, but this is the thing. If we had built to that slowly,
Yeah,
then I would be more like, okay,
100%.
this is what we've been building towards. But it was just a glitch.
It was a
It
switch.
looked like a glitch.
Glitch in
was
the
like,
Matrix.
yeah, it was literally like, oh wow, oh we did that by accident. Oh, we better like
It
not.
was like AI Carlton.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Look, like I said, like Georgie, I'm a bit more optimistic. I reckon that. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm being way too optimistic.
Hawthorn by 2 goals.
I need to calm the hell down. It's not happening. Look, we've got Hawthorn is by no means a walk in the park. It's not a West Coast type of game. Let's look to the future now. We got Hawthorn at the G this coming Sunday, and it's nowhere near a walk in the park. I reckon that's going to be more of a test than what the Gold Coast was, because we have to now back that up. Can we do it? Is the question. We'll wait and see. But then after that, we've got Freo in Freo, and
Port
I
Adelaide.
think,
Port Adelaide.
and then Port Adelaide at Marvel.
Oh.
Now
We beat Port.
Last year.
We'll beat them. Mark my words, we'll beat them.
Big call.
Andy's
And they got a 10.
That's a
Check your
big,
temp.
big call.
Hey, we're beating them.
this is going on TikTok, Andy.
That's all right.
Big
Post
call.
it anyway, mate. We are beating Port.
How many houses?
It's called.
And if I'm wrong, Moose has to shave his beard.
No deal.
Oh, that's a big call. But look, three big games coming off our bye. 3 big games. I reckon Hawks will win. Freo, I'm not so confident. But let's just say we win, and Port. Andy, you G'd me up. We're beating Port now as well.
You're all cool.
Easy money.
You've G'd me up. What do you think?
Jump on Sportsbet, everyone, and put everything you got, steal money from your missus and your kids' lunchboxes, and put it all on Carlton to beat
I
Port.
was actually just
Gamble
looking at the odds.
responsibly.
Gamble responsibly. Mus, what do you think? Hawks, Freo, and Port.
I think if we get 2 out of 3, we've done really well, but we'll probably just beat Hawthorn, and I think we'll go back to our shitty old brand and play 5 minutes every quarter or 5 minutes out of 2 or 3 quarters and roll some goals, but we don't have that killer instinct. We've lacked it for as long as I can remember. As long as the Carlton Guernsey's on, there's no desire or want. And I think we'll just go through the year, win a couple, lose a couple, and end up, 14th or 15th, and call it a year and start again next year.
Once we make connections and friends at Carlton Football Club, we don't kill. All right, we don't kill and we don't hurt. We have connections and friends.
Yeah.
That's what we're about.
That's evident, mate.
Not finals.
evident,
Connections and friends.
So that's me, Amal. What are you thinking, mate? Apart from that little warm, fuzzy, huggy thing you got going on.
The way Amal's thinking, we're winning the flag.
No, we're winning. I blame Andy because he G'd me up with the Port call. No, I think Hawks and Freo are our best chance. Port, I reckon, will be maybe too strong for us. Is my call. So yeah, 2 out of 3, and I'd be happy. What about you, Andy?
I reckon we just beat Hawks, and I honestly think we go all right in Perth. We generally do okay over there, so I think it'll be close against Freo. I think we might even just get them, and realistically, Port will be too strong for us. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think if we get, like you said, if we get 2 out of the 3, I think it's very good. 1 is probably the most likely.
1. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, George.
I feel 2 out of the 3, honestly. Like I feel 2 out of 3 is the pass mark. I think really like over the next 3 weeks, but it's give or take. Like I'm thinking back to that Freo game last year. It was a really ugly watch. Griffin Logue absolutely dominated Mackay. I don't think Curnow played that game.
No.
He got injured. The Pitnet went down early.
Yeah.
And they just had their way with us. Like, so the
I don't
Freo
think Cripps played that game.
I remember we had a couple of injuries. But he. Oh, actually, hold on.
Did Cripps go down the week before against Gold Coast?
Against the Suns.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's right.
Yeah. So we had a bit of an off week that week, but I think probably that's the one that we can maybe take a bit of a scalp. Freo's been a bit inconsistent. Paul, we usually like match up okay. Historically, I think I can't remember as far back, but we usually do okay. And it's at Marvel, so yeah, who knows? But they're flying. They've got to lose at some stage, right? So yeah, we need to get 2 out of the 3.
Look, Port is a possibility, I reckon. Now that I think about it, because there's going to be no pressure on Carlton at that week whatsoever. All the focus, all the media attention is going to be on Port that week. The expectation is going to be that Port should win. No one's going to be talking about Carlton winning. So maybe we come out as the massive, as the big underdogs and get a scalp. Who knows?
If we beat Hawks and then we beat Freo over there, all of a sudden that becomes not a marquee match, but it becomes a pretty, a good watch. So who knows?
It will definitely be a good watch if Carlton brings second quarter against the Gold Coast against against the match with the Port. Big few weeks coming up, boys. Big few weeks. Now we sent out a message on the socials to see if anyone had some questions that they wanted to ask of us. So maybe we can spend some time going through some of the questions that our listeners have asked. Now, the first one, George, I'll throw this one to you. Why the actual fuck has Dow not been selected as much as he should have been? And this question has come from Cameron B.
Cameron B, good question. And it's funny, this week in the bye week, I was waiting for the Thursday night, the big hoo-ha why Dow hasn't been selected this week or why he's been dropped from a sub. But no, to be honest with you, I think the more I think about it, right, how he sort of gets included, doesn't play for ages, they make excuses about, there's too many like-for-like players, and he does really well in the VFL. His numbers are obviously fantastic in the VFL. I understand that there's obviously a night-and-day difference with VFL and AFL. But I think as the weeks have gone on, and there's been a bit more noise about it, and when he's coming on, he's doing well. Like, he's impacting the game. He's racking up a few possessions, a couple of tackles here and there. Like, the guy has one quarter to do a job, right? And he's doing a job in that quarter. And I think
and some.
And I think the more and more I think about it, I'm like, the match committee and Voss are probably like, you know what? Nah, he's egg on our face. He's gonna actually make us look like idiots. So if we play him and he blitzes it, we look like idiots. We look like the ones that, hold on, why haven't you included him in earlier in the season or whatnot? So I think they're almost like saving face. I don't know, my thoughts, right? But again, like for like, when you think of Hewitt and Kennedy are the ones that I think are sort of blocking his pathway into the team. Similar players, so obviously Hewitt going down with a concussion. Hopefully they don't play Kennedy at halfback again, or in the back pocket again. So, but that means that Dow would get in. But I think they're the two players that were sort of blocking his progression, because you're not going to replace Walsh, you're not going to replace Cripps, you're not going to replace. You're definitely not going to replace Shaved Head Chera. So, you know, do you play him on a high half forward, or do you move Walsh to a wing and then maybe get him in the guts as well? But I just think the longer it goes on, the match committee are sort of trying to save face and not look silly.
It's an interesting way to put it. I think.
Agreed.
And it's
Well, they're going to look like fools when we trade him, and you know he does the Tom Mitchell and potentially kills it at another club.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. Carl, I'll throw this next question to you. Questions from Luca Rigotto. Where do you think Carlton will be in the next 5 years?
Luke, good question. They'll probably still be at Icon Park. Realistically, I want to say, I don't know what I want to say.
Say it.
Look, fuck.
just stand on it, bro.
Fuck,
Just
man,
stand on it.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, we've been saying this for how long now? Fuck. Next 5 years. Look, within the next
Have we got
5.
a flag?
Well, this is our best chance to win a flag. We've got 5 years. We've got a 5-year window. Take away this year, 4 years left. If we don't win a flag within the next 4 years, I think we're rebuilding again, straight out, because there's going to be big name players that'll probably leave us. The Koenig, I don't think will stay, so he'll be one of them already off the bat. You got Paddy Dell, our superstar. He'll be gone at the end of the year. It's 4-year window. If we don't win a flag, we're back to square one. Maybe a bit harsh to say, but it's true.
It's interesting you bring up the TDK one, and Mus, I'll throw this one to you. This question's from Daniel V. I'm not going to butcher your last name, so it's just a one-letter last name. If we don't sign TDK, which is it's looking like we probably won't, who will be our second ruck? Now Daniel reckons that he doesn't want to see Sauce in the ruck again, and I don't think anyone really does. But who do you think would be our second ruck if we don't sign TDK?
Danny V, mate. I don't want to see Sauce in the team at all for starters, let alone in the ruck. As for TDK, if he goes, well, our backup and our next in line would have been Markov, but I think he's had some health issues. So good luck to him with all that, and hopefully comes out the other end and continues playing football. Hironet is our man and our only man. Young, I don't know. Maybe stretch him, get a kneecap job or something like that. I don't know. Is that a thing? We've got no one. I can't answer that, Amal.
I think Murkov's contracted for next year. So look, he's probably obviously he's got the health issues, but he's maybe a bit off it and a bit raw. But yeah, as Carl said, draft. You got to, like, if he goes, you have to trade. Like, you have to bring someone.
No option. We don't have any. We don't have anyone in our list or extended list. So
Not
slim.
Well, surely we hit the trade table.
You have to.
Surely we just hit the trade table. We have to get someone.
It has to be because, or maybe we can keep TDK if it's a question of money.
I think we can. I think we will,
because we've got a lot of like for example, McGovern. I think is coming off contract this year, and if he chooses to stay,
GoFundMe as we speak. GoFundMe.
We should go all in and swap the TDK for Sean Darcy. Not going to happen, but that'll be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah. Get the best ruckman in the league in.
Well, that TDK's decision is like pivotal to so many things happening.
Yeah.
That's
everything.
One.
Yeah.
That will unlock so many things. That's going to be the one that a lot of clubs will wait on. What we wait on for our draft hands for who we trade for. What have we got? We've got 16 or 17 uncontracted players at the end of this year, right? So
yeah, that's a lot.
We need to play hardball with that, though. We can't let him go easy.
It's a very good question, that one, and it opens up a whole can of worms, unfortunately. So interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I reckon you have to trade.
You have to get someone in.
Because there's a question then off the back of that is, let's just say TDK goes and then Pitner gets injured and he's out for 6 weeks. Who rucks?
Young.
Right, if you haven't got anyone else in, Young, Murkov, who is question mark.
It'll be Sauce.
Well, it has to be Sauce.
It'll be Sauce.
To keep him.
Yeah, it'll be Sauce.
The thing. We just have to.
Yeah.
Like, I know it goes against the question, but
Realistically, it'll be
So do you-
Sauce.
I mean,
So do you think
Yeah.
it's now if TDK stays, Sauce goes. If TDK goes, Sauce stays
Maybe.
as a
I th-
ruck backup.
I think I'm leaning more towards yes, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if they both end up at the Saints next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Watch
ouch!
this space.
Watch
Mhm.
this space indeed. Andy, next question is from you, from Ryan Brock. Why is Andy so Mr. Tough Guy when Carlton lose, and then so Mr. Grand Final tickets when they win? The Blues are either shit or good. Pick a side. Andy, which side are you picking?
What's his name?
Ryan Brock.
Peter
Now,
Brock's
Ryan, I don't know ya. Mind your business, all right? This is hard work being a Carlton fan, man. Let me have it, bro. Let me just have that moment. If you want, I'll get you a ticket. If you want, I'll get you a ticket. It's okay. No, we got to enjoy the highs. We're just, you gotta take the piss out of it yourself too. You know, it's hard work being like just a Carlton fan every week. We're copping it from pillar to post.
Oh,
It's all right to have a
100%.
bit of banter.
100%. Question for everyone. Favorite Carlton monogram? This question came from Josh49V.
Mm,
Favorite Carlton monogram? I reckon the current one is beautiful. Love it.
yeah, same. I
Love
love. Although that one, I don't know if you can see that one there.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Mm.
But I love the traditional one.
Traditional best.
It's
Mm.
funny you say that one because I sometimes the monograms you sort of they remind you of times in the club, and that one with the main
Yeah.
logo is just a dark. I mean,
PTSD.
have we ever left the dark times really? But like
No, we haven't.
that one reminds, and that's why the current logo to Amal, like it sort of it represents more wins, like you think. But for me, it's the one on the beanie, the classic with the slogan, the Latin slogan underneath.
Yeah.
Sound mind, sound body. Mensana and
Yeah.
corpore sano.
Sound minded
the
and
most
a
spoken way.
healthy body. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
that
fucking
for
not
me,
the case at the moment.
for me, this one reminds me of like Prince's Park, Optus Oval back in the day, and a lot of the gear that I used to buy and wear had that insignia on it, and like just reminds me of like younger times going in and we were successful going to wins, and so I attach the monograms and the jerseys with with times and like that the baby blue color jersey and the monogram. I don't know. I just remember like Dennis Armfield and stuff like that. You start to think of like really random connections. But for me, this just reminds me of childhood. So definitely that one for me.
Nice. It's look, while we're at it, you mentioned the what is it called, the Mensana in corpore sano. What's a more appropriate
I'm laughing already. I don't think we go there.
What? Well, you have to go there. What is more appropriate for this year? Depressed, stressed, and no hair? I reckon that's a good one.
Selling hopes and dreams. Selling hopes and dreams.
Or maybe
Carlton,
they should change it to they know we're coming. I don't know.
No.
reserve that for the OnlyFans. Sorry, guys, had to put that one in there.
We'll have a look at one more question, and I think this one might take a bit of time. Now, this question came from Jibrail. Name your best 22 on the list with positions and reasons why.
Cool.
Yes, it's a heavy question. But one question that I would.
It's a heavy question because our match committee don't even know what our best 22 are after 2 years.
I feel like our match committee have favourites and they're just sticking with them.
Do we have a match committee? Asking for a mate.
It's a bad one. Let's have a look. All right, well, back pocket.
I like if I think of the back three, I think Newman, Wieders, McGovern, and I'll sort of go to the halfback and tell you why as well. But I think Newman is like the settler in the back pocket. I feel like he's the sort of usually the reliable kick mark option as well to get you to that next link up play. Wieders, no brainer for me at fullback. Done it time and time again. It's nice to see that he's back to his form. And I say McGovern at the moment as well, purely because I personally had Kemp on the centre half back line. Because if I think like Young, McGovern, Kemp at this stage, I'm popping in like McGovern and Kemp at this stage. But he's that play that intercept role, play on the the third biggest forward. Sometimes you see him play on some smalls as well. So yeah, that's my one. Keen to hear your boys. Your take.
I think Wiedering for a lot of us, all of us, will be a
Yeah.
lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes
Mhm.
without saying.
At
Yeah.
fullback at least, anyway.
Mhm.
But the back pockets, Newman has been pretty solid this year.
Yeah.
I like the toughness he brings to the game.
I think what's his name?
Boyd.
The new
Boyd.
kid. Boyd.
I love Boyd.
Yeah, I think Boyd in the back pocket.
He works well.
In the other back pocket. Yeah. I think he will find his position well in the back pocket.
If we don't drop him.
Yeah.
You need to lead him in there for a bit. See how it goes.
Yep.
Agreed.
Halfback. We'll look at both.
Yeah.
halfbacks.
I think. See, for me, I'd put Kemp halfback.
Yep.
I'd probably put McGovern centre halfback. And then on the other back, man, I love Doherty. I just think Doherty on the halfback is great, but also I understand Saad probably needs to be there as well. So it's a good problem to have. But yeah, I think I'd personally go. Yeah, look, I'd probably stick with Kemp, McGovern, and I'll probably go Doherty and have Saad maybe floating kind of towards a wing.
No room for your boy Zach Williams.
No,
Well,
definitely not.
you
mate.
can't. I don't think we
Definitely
can
not.
count him. We can't count him at the moment. Anyway, he's out for
At the
whole
moment,
year, so.
He's broken.
At the moment, mate, he could have played every game this year, 4 quarters and everything, and he wouldn't make the reserves list for me. But that's just me.
Let him
No,
take his,
850 grand.
800. Yep, big money.
It's a lot of
Yep.
money. It's a lot of money. Is everyone in agreement
Yeah.
in that halfback line? I'm a bit.
The only thing, I'll just jump in real quick. Yeah, we're talking about the same names, your Boyds, your Kemps. Definitely McGovern stays for me. If you asked me a few weeks ago, I say no, but he provides a lot of that run that the guys sort of feed off him, and he even pushes a little bit himself. The only one that I've got is Doherty and Newman. I think if you play both, we're a little bit heavy. We're a little bit slow, just with those two. I don't know if you play both together. But other than that,
I like Chincotta, man. I know he's new, but Chincotta's good, man.
Yeah, Chincotta's also been good too. Geez, we have some depth in the back line. I think it's probably the only area.
We won one game and now we've got depth issues.
No, but like Boyd was good. Okay, maybe Boyd isn't depth, but definitely across the halfback, I think we have some selection headaches there because Kemp, Chincotta, McGovern, Doherty, Saad, 5 doesn't fit into 3. Now, as a group, what is the Monday Blues half-back line going to look like? Now, Andy reckons it's Doherty, Kemp, and who was the third?
Saad.
McGovern.
Oh,
McGovern.
Yeah, McGovern.
I would say I'd have Saad and Kemp halfbacks and Doherty as the centre half.
Just depends on
George,
who we're
what about you?
playing, but
I
It
think
does. You're right, but this is best 22 for
This is best 22,
so far. Yeah.
I think Saad, Kemp, Doherty as well. I had that down for me as well with a question mark over Zach Williams. I know we're not counting him at the moment, but I don't know. I'd like him to be there because I like the run that he brings, but again, inconsistency and things like that as well. So, but really, like realistically speaking, if he's fit, he's going to play. He's going to be best 22, and purely off the back of his contract, right? And is he best 22 by default because of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in the eyes of the selection committee, but I think Chincotta and Kemp are doing exactly what we would expect of Williams for a fraction of the contract size.
I feel like Zach
Yep.
Williams panics with the ball anyway.
Panic kicks, you reckon?
Yeah, he does a lot, I reckon. I feel like he just panics a lot when he gets the ball. He just boots it.
Mm.
But I
To
don't
be
know.
honest, I don't even remember how he plays.
He plays for GWS.
Ah, I thought he played for our medical department. Mus, what about you?
Yeah, I'm 50-50 around that. Like Doherty, McGovern, but then best based on form and whatnot, you'd probably go Doherty over McGovern, but McGovern's yet to sort of have a consistent patch of good games. So yeah, McGovern takes it over. Doherty takes it over McGovern for me at this stage, but the rest sort of sticks. Does Chincotta sit over Boyd? Maybe, yeah. Boyd out, McGovern out, and the rest of the six probably sticks.
Can I suggest a change, because we've got Jordan Boyd in the back pocket. Maybe we can put a Kemp or a McGovern there, and then go Sard, Doherty, and McGovern across the halfback. Thoughts on that?
I reckon instead of Boyd, then we go Chincotta.
Yeah, I like Chincotta.
Yeah, bit
Yeah.
more height. Bit more height.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, done.
Height and grunt. I like the grunt he brings.
And speed.
Sorry,
Sam,
Boyd, you bad.
you've been good, but sorry.
Centre line.
Centre line. Let's do it.
Mm,
Mus, thoughts?
it's very, very interesting.
It's hard.
No, it's hard because we
You have
haven't,
to say his
we
name.
haven't seen.
You have to.
No, I'm not going to. He's played one quarter. Once
have
played
to.
one quarter of footy. I'm going Cotters, Cripps, and I'm throwing Cunningham on the other wing. That's
Cunningham.
it.
One game.
Yep,
One game.
I'm actually. Who was your centre?
Cripps.
Yeah.
Cripps.
Yeah, I actually agree.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 2 out of
Yeah.
2. I'm not disputing that. Can't dispute that at the moment. George.
I had a bit of a different. Musta's favourite bloke, Blake Acres, or not favourite bloke at the moment. Acres on one of the wings, Cripps in the middle, and I felt like when I was thinking about the other wing, and I'm thinking we got Cotters, Holland's obviously its first year. We got Cotters. Almost said Jack Nunes for a second. I put Sam Walsh on the wing because there's some games that he's played in the wing, and I think like he gives that option of pace. He's really good gut running. He's an elite runner. Generally has been a good kick inside 50 bar a few weeks this year. But I had Acres, Cripps, Walsh on my line.
Interesting. Carl.
Yeah, got to be Cripps. Obviously Blake Acres. I like. I know he's only played the game, but fucking Cunningham, if he could stay fit.
Yeah, but does one game...
I know that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
hard, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
Not
just
O'Brien.
You
think
have to play Acres.
I just think.
you have to play Acres.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have
You
to
have
play
to,
Acres.
yeah.
I just think Acres has. Look, he's had a down year. He had a great year last year. New system, lack thereof. So you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, don't you?
We're going best.
He was the missing
Best
piece.
22.
Allegedly the missing
Yeah.
piece.
He was the missing piece to a premiership,
Mm.
apparently.
Nah, this was the missing piece for the premiership. Me, I think Cripps is undisputable. He sits in the for everyone. I'm sorry, Mus. I have to agree that Blake Acres has to play on on the wing, and on the other side, I'm saying Cotters.
Okay.
Cotters has been.
I'll
good.
get one.
I think
Cotters is good.
I think the wing that wing still needs some work, because we've really played around with a lot of people on that side. But Walsh isn't a bad shout, I don't think. I think if it's not as a follower, on the wing is probably not a bad bet. I actually don't mind that at all. Our half forward line. George.
Charlie Curnow, centre half forward. I was thinking Cunners, and this is more of like a silver lining thing because I hope he stays fit and plays well. But I'd love to see him in that role where he can go from half forward into the midfield, like more of a defensive half forward, be that link up, between the midfield and the forward line. And I put Jack Martin in the forward pocket. That's why I put Fisher on that half forward line for talent, for pace, for speed, for what he gives. Is he best 22 at the moment? No. But I was thinking who else goes on that line, and I couldn't. And then I had Cotters. He's more of a winger. I didn't put Jack Silvani, to be honest, at all in there. So I thought who else goes in that half forward line if not for Jack Martin? Zach Fisher. But keen to hear your thoughts.
Andy.
Yeah, I'm thinking Zach Fisher as well. I think he provides good pressure. I think out of all the smalls, he provides probably the best pressure. Just doesn't get enough more, which I think hurts him a bit because he does play higher up the ground. Charlie Curnow, centre half forward as well. On the other half forward, I'd go Jack Martin. I just think, the few games that he's played since he got back from his 1 to 2 week injury that went 12 weeks. I think his decision making and his composure. He's got very good composure. I think he gets the half forward spot, but Charlie Curnow definitely centre half forward. I don't think he should play full forward. I think keep him up the ground. He's too talented to keep him restricted to the first 40, 30 meters or whatever.
Mus.
I agree, absolutely. Charlie Curnow's the man. He needs to play up and down the ground. He needs to play that leadership, moving the pieces around forward line role. 100%. Jack Martin slipped into the team nicely, does a lot, pushes up, drops back, puts some pressure on, moves the ball around. That half forward, it's a gap for me at the moment. I'd love to say throw Fisher in there, but reality is I don't think he's best 22.
I don't even think he'll be at Carlton next year.
That's right. It's an area.
Put then, Moss?
It's an area of weakness for us at the moment, I think.
I'd probably, because I'd play always deeper. I think I'd play Cunningham.
It's actually a key position that we're missing there.
I'd play Cunningham and play a different role because my vision is, skipping ahead a little bit, but to play a resting TDK forward with a deep Mackay, so Cunners can play that sort of pressure running role. I'd go Cunningham, Curnow, and Martin.
Is Cunners a pressure player though?
I think he can be. I think he needs to get a bit more ball. I think he needs to. He's more run. I think the pressure needs.
It's hard to say, really.
I think the pressure.
It's hard to say. I don't think we've seen enough.
Yeah. I'll see where you're going with the Fisher because he does put a little bit of that pressure on inside once the ball goes deep. So, yeah, I don't know. For me, it is Cunners, but yeah, I don't know.
Could you put Kennedy there?
Half forward.
Yeah, I think you can.
He's played it before, and he can mark the ball.
I'd rather Kennedy over Fisher.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In my team, I'd rather Kennedy over Fisher. But
in that role. Yeah.
In that role.
Yeah.
Kennedy's
good in the middle.
I've named Kennedy on my bench.
That's what I would do as well. I would put Kennedy on my bench.
Okay. Well, I think Jack Martin and Charlie Curnow are locks for everyone.
Yeah.
It's the question at the moment is that other half forward.
Mm-hmm.
Are we settling on Fisher?
No.
I don't think so.
I like him, but I get why others wouldn't.
He doesn't show enough.
I think he does a lot of the intangibles, as Andy said, like your pressure acts and 1%ers and whatnot. Doesn't get enough of the ball, damage you. How many times you look at the stats and Fisher's got 13 touches, 1 goal, 1, or 15 touches, 2 behinds,
no goals,
and a few tackles. He doesn't. Sam Powell-Pepper is the player that he'll get you 11 touches, 2 goals, 7 tackles, and it's like the best 11 touch game you've ever seen.
Andy,
he's the weirdest. The amount of multis this bloke has cost me.
Mate. But you know what I mean. Like that half forward that impacts the game doesn't need to rack up a lot of possessions, but hurts you. Like really hurts you. Anyway, yeah, yet neither here nor there. But like he has the ability to impact the goal. Like you see Fisher, there's a few games where he's had multiple goals and link up plays and things like that as well. But it's just consistency, and if he's there for pressure and tackling and bringing that pressure, you want to see him lock it in a little bit more and also deliver well inside 50. So
Okay, so who's it going to be?
What about if Always was to push up to half forward and we'd play a Durden in the pocket? I don't know.
No.
Does Durden make it?
You need always there.
You leave always there.
Always needs to be forward pocket.
Don't say that again.
No. I don't mind the idea. Only because he can lead up, he can kick 50, and he's not bad at setting play up when he gets it. But if you put Fisher side by side with Owies, and who can provide the most for me, I'd go Fisher all day, because Owies goes missing. And he doesn't go missing for a quarter, he goes missing for games at a time. So for me personally, the idea is not too bad if Owies can come with that pressure and stick around for 3.5 quarters a game instead of playing 15 minutes.
That's a question.
How ironic is that our forward with the most leadership and passion in the forward line is a Category B rookie who used to be a college basketball player.
It's the most Carlton thing ever.
Oh, man. We got to make a decision here, fellas. Is it going to be Fisher or is it going to be Silvani?
Not Silvani. Can't kick a goal from 15 out. Don't care what your surname is, mate. You're not in my team.
Fisher. Can we settle on Fisher?
We don't have a choice, do we?
Done. Full forward, Harry Mackay. Do we all agree on that? Yep. Forward pockets.
Up.
Always in one?
Always.
See, I had Jack Martin in the forward pocket purely because I was like, I don't want to have Motlop or Durden in there. But a question to you boys now, like let's just say we finalised Martin on the half forward, and you've got always Mackay who takes. If you have to choose between Motlop and Durden, who's your choice?
I'll take Durden.
Durden. Motlop's just not ready. He will be, and the potential's there, but he's just not ready for AFL.
He looks lost on the field sometimes.
Yeah, he overruns the ball.
He looks like he's about to sneeze.
I feel like he tries too hard. Instead of playing his natural game, it's almost like the pressure's getting to him to perform. So he overruns the ball. He gives away too many free kicks.
Yeah.
Just relax. Just play your game.
He does.
And if that's his game, it's very bad. So
Durden. Yep.
Yeah, Durden all day.
Yeah.
Durden it is. Followers.
But I'd love TDK in there too.
Yeah, you rotate him.
So
100%.
Yeah, so 100%. I'd rotate TDK between the bench
and ruck,
full pocket and
ruck.
Just stretch them.
Yeah.
Followers. I'm not even going to ask you guys because I know Cherub belongs in there.
As long as his head's shaved.
As long as his head's shaved. TDK is a follower?
No.
Or 4-year contract, Pittenet's got to.
Yeah, it's got to be.
You've got to start with Pittenet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third follower. Hewitt? Walsh.
I was thinking. If you
Walsh.
Walsh, if you don't have him on the wing, but
no,
otherwise
Walsh.
it's got to be Hewitt Kennedy if you don't go Walsh, one or the other. So Walsh has got to be the man.
Walsh.
I think Walsh, because if we chuck Hewitt there, we become far too slow.
Yeah, you got to be Walsh
out of the centre. So I think Walsh has to be that release kick kind of thing, or that run out.
Well, they were talking about it. I can't remember what show it was last week, and they were saying, Carlton sort of built this midfield early last year. We went 8-2, where we were, banking on the competition. And Andy, we've spoken about this a few times. How the banking on the competition being a slow, contested, sort of type play where you can really bully your way through. And then as soon as the game, like Collingwood, rewrote the sort of game plans last year about breaking it open, fast breaks, running, handballing, play on at all costs. That sort of that ultra attacking sort of style of football. Then you almost become too slow when you've got we had that Cripps, Kennedy, Hewitt sort of combination.
Yep. I think our on-field 18 represents pace, definitely. Interchange.
Dow.
Agreed. I think everyone agrees. Yeah, we all love.
Yeah.
We're all part of the Dow fan club.
Dow, for me, Dow, Hewitt.
Yep.
Hewitt, because you can't really put him anywhere else.
Everyone
He'll
agrees
just
with Hewitt?
chop and change. I think, did we decide on TDK? Was he full pocket or?
No, he
No,
don't.
so interchange. Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be TDK. And the fourth for me would be probably it'll be whoever we didn't choose for half forward. So whether it was Cunningham or I don't think Motlop makes the bench, man.
I think Cunningham.
Yeah,
Definitely Cunningham for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cunningham over Cottrell.
Well, Cottrell's on the wing.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Well,
they
if
can
Cottrell's on the wing,
interchange.
it's got to be Cunningham then. If Cottrell's on the wing,
Because then, worst case, if Cottrell goes off, Walsh can fall back into that wing position, and then Fisher can even play in the midfield, and
Did we cut Kennedy?
you can.
We cut
he's on the ground.
Yeah, I think so.
Follower.
No, he's not.
No. Yeah, we cut Kennedy.
We had Chera Walsh.
Oh, did we?
That's a problem.
Also, Kennedy's on the bench.
So
No,
I'll take you through the team. The team. Fullback, Jacob Wiedering, Nick Newman, Alex Ching Cotter. Halfback, Mitch McGovern, Sam Doherty, Adam Sard. Centerline, Matty Cottrell, Paddy Cripps, Blake Akers. Half forward, Zach Fisher, Charlie Curnow, Jack Martin. Full forwards, Matty Owies, Corey Durden, Harry Mackay. Followers, Adam Chera, Mark Pitney, Sam Walsh. And our interchange, Dow, Hewitt, TDK, Cunningham.
Yeah.
Nah, Kennedy has
can't
to.
cut Kennedy.
Yeah, so this is the match committee conversation that's happening.
No, this
So
is exactly how it's going to go. Well, we can't keep Kennedy at. What's his contract? This much. Oh, no, you put him on. Take off Dow.
Who's Dow?
Dow best 22 sub.
So for me, Kennedy would have to be. Kennedy is a non-negotiable in our 22 for me.
Yeah.
Right. I'd probably swap Cunningham with Cottrell on the wing, and this is me. I'd go Cunningham for Cottrell on the bench, Kennedy on that half forward line. Did we have Cunningham on the half forward?
Fisher.
Fisher.
Cunningham's on the bench.
Cunningham was on the bench.
Okay. That's tough. It's tough. But Kennedy has to be in the 22.
Yeah. His contract's
Kennedy
too
on
big.
bench. That was a sub.
Yeah, well.
Nah, I wouldn't keep Dow sub. I think Dow brings too much.
Let me pose.
But if
I don't know. I'm just thinking if and we're looking at this, we've gone really heavy in the mids. What happens if Doherty gets injured? Or Wiedering gets injured?
Boyd.
Finished.
Boyd and
Not
Lewis
really.
Young. Lewis Young.
He's not in the side.
He's not in the side.
yeah, but
And no one on
if you look at
the interchange
play back
can cover
at
in
all.
the back line in the
Mm.
but if you look at at most teams, their interchanges aren't defenders. The interchanges are usually
Midfielders or forwards.
runners.
Yeah,
Runners.
but this is where
Utility, one
if
utility
you play Young in the back line and you use Doherty to be that second interchange on the wing or something like that, then we don't have to pick a Hewitt or someone like that, or a Fisher. Fisher goes out of the side. I don't know.
After what I said last week about Young never playing again, I'm standing on that. Young doesn't get in my team.
Yeah, his depth.
I
agree.
just think Wiedering
Plays better
plays
without him.
a lot better.
McGovern, sorry. Forget
But-
Young, McGovern.
But But in an ideal world, where Wiedering was playing well with Young, sure, Young centre half back. But it doesn't work.
So who does Kenini come in for?
Fisher.
That's
I'll take Fisher out straight out.
Yeah, Fisher probably
Fisher comes
misses
out.
then.
Yeah, that's for me
Fisher
anyway.
misses. Kennedy half forward. Just gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
That's what we discussed before. Anyway,
Because he still gives.
that was an option
He still
earlier.
gives that pressure. Kennedy's a hard nut, and he'll put the pressure on.
And you know he'll do the hard work. He'll put his head over the ball.
Not only that, he can mark the ball above the head. Fisher can't do that.
Well,
Sorry,
there it
Fish.
is. There's the Monday Blues best 22, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, who's our sub? Fisher.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's what a sub is supposed to be.
Right? He's actually forgot someone, a legend of the club. Legend.
Oh no!
You know who it is.
Oh no! Who is it? Go on.
Come on, Ed Kerno. Don't forget Ed.
You know what? When we were talking about the wings and all that, I had a shudder. If you rewind it, I shuddered a bit because I just thought Ed Kerno, and I was like, what?
Oh,
I was joking, by the way.
Thanks for your service, Ed.
For those that sent through the questions, thank you. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the responses from the boys. And a thank you to Zero Hanger for the AFL Pick Your Team. Good little feature you guys have on your website. Boys, Sunday, Arvo at the G. Footy returns for the Baggers supporters. We are coming up against the Hawks in what should tell us a lot about how the rest of the season is going to go. Now, mathematically, we are still very much a possibility for finals. However, realistically, we can only drop, I think it's 2 games out of 9, and we've got a tough run home. There's nothing easy about it. It's going to be interesting, and I think how we play against the Hawks could very well. It will tell us exactly how the rest of the season is going to go. Now, either the Gold Coast Suns game was a blip in the radar, not only for us but for them as well, because they managed to turn it around after a bad game. But the question mark over the Baggers at the moment is, can we not turn it around and keep the same style of gameplay for more than one game? So let's see. But next Sunday is going to be interesting nonetheless. Predictions, Mus.
If we get that, and I'll say it again, if we get that endeavour and support and run and drive and carry and risk taking 22 out there, we will smash them. If they play with confidence, we will smash them. But if we go back to the last 15 rounds of what has been Carlton, Hawthorn will win, and they'll win by 30 points.
Carl.
Yeah, Mus is probably right, to be honest. Hawks are really good on the G. I mean, look, Brisbane doesn't have the best record there, but they still lost to the Hawks there. Yeah, we either win by a lot or we lose in a close one. But I'm tipping Carlton.
George.
I reckon it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be like a mirror of last year's Hawks game where we were up by, I don't know, 8 or 9 goals, and we ended up having a heart-stopping finish where we won by a couple of points. Wiedering's mark at the end. I think if we win, I don't think it'll be more than a couple of goals, to be honest with you. I feel like it'll be a really competitive game. I feel like we might break open into a lead, and they'll claw it back. But I feel okay.
Feeling good.
Feel good.
Andy.
I don't think many teams have won after they've had a bye. I think Collingwood was the first one.
It's a bad record. You're right. After a bye, a lot of teams stumble.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting because we went into the bye with a good win, confidence up. Think it can go either way. I'll tip Carlton. I think if we win, it'll be 2-3 goals. But I actually think it can go either way.
Well, for me, we're not only beating the Hawks, but we're going to make the finals, boys. Flag Blues.
Stop
The
it.
flag is
The Flaggers. We're winning. I'm probably a little delusional, but we're definitely winning against the Hawks. But then after that, it gets really, really tough. But we'll save that conversation for the game preview against the Hawks, which will come out on Friday. But until then, gentlemen, that is the mid-season review for the Monday Blues. Thank you for coming along. And to all those listening, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Gentlemen, sayonara, and have a good night.
Sick now.
take care, boys.
See you guys.
See ya.